Welcome back. So today on the What To series, we are going to be focusing on one of my favorites, one of the best of all time. It's been tried and true for centuries. It's been tried and true around the planet. Everybody's now turned on to it and has been using it recently in their hair care items. What are we talking about? What is this infamous product that everybody must experience but only few have? Tea tree oil is one of the absolute best things for your skin. It's amazing. So recently a lot of people have been using it in hair care products because tea tree is a very, very powerful antioxidant. So a lot of hair care products are taking it to using it in their shampoo because a lot of the times on your scalp and your hair you get buildup and you get that nasty crud. You get almost like a dandruff. You know, your scalp's not breathing adequately. You don't know what to do to help it start breathing adequately again. It once was breathing, but all of a sudden now it's stopped. You don't know why. It's a lot of times because some of the products that we're using in our hair tends to have silicone in them, tends to have other little heavier products, waxes, and other things that prevent oxygen from getting through the scalp. So tea tree has been used in a lot of hair care products recently as a very, very powerful antioxidant to break through all of that and to help get down into the scalp and to get all that crap out of your hair and make sure everything's rejuvenating nicely. What antioxidant really does is that it breaks down tiny particles. So we know a lot of things is oxidation. That's usually something that we see as a side effect of water. Rust is an oxidation. When you have buildup, which is oxidation, it prevents things from breathing. It prevents things from flowing adequately. It's just not good. So tea tree is a very, very powerful antioxidant. But what I know tea tree oil to be best used for is to be perfect to be used on blemishes. So anytime that you have any kind of whitehead, blackhead, cyst, I use tea tree oil because not only is it a powerful antioxidant, it's anti-septic and it's antibacterial. So we have the trifecta: antioxidant, antiseptic, and antibacterial. So it's going to stop the spread of bacteria. It's going to break down the particles that are there, and it's going to clear up the bacteria that's been produced. So this is going to do everything all in one, and that's exactly why you need it for things like blemishes. Let's start with where to get your tea tree oil. So a lot of different companies source their tea tree oil from a lot of different regions. One of the first places on the planet that's been documented that's been using tea tree oil for centuries was in Africa. And one of my favorite companies that I've had the pleasure to work with in the past, The Body Shop, actually sourced their tea tree oil specifically from Kenya in Africa and handpicked all of their leaves and had it distilled and cold pressed. So this is The Body Shop's tea tree oil. And they've actually used another tea tree oil, a lemon tea tree oil, that usually lemon tea tree oil comes from Australia. And it's a blend of lemon tea tree oil, and then it has vitamin E and a couple of other essential oils, carrier oils, sunflower seed, to help it penetrate your skin a little bit deeper. So this is the one I personally prefer. I feel like because it comes from a part of the world where it's been tried and true and it's been used for centuries, it's highest quality and you're gonna get the best impact. So I swear by this, and I love using The Body Shop's tea tree oil because I feel like it's pure. So a lot of people will be like, I want 100% tea tree oil, 100% tea tree oil. People don't realize that things like essential oils are very, very potent on your skin. The reasons they use carrier oils to penetrate into your skin is because the product by itself is a little too potent to just put directly on skin, so you have to have something that can offer the benefits to skin without irritating, keeping it nourished throughout the entire process. You'll only find a tea tree oil that's about 15%. It's usually the highest concentration of tea tree oil that you'll want to put on skin without irritation. That's exactly the percentage that The Body Shop uses. I found this tea tree oil online from a fantastic company called The Soothing Touch. They have a lot of different natural inspired remedies, fantastic body butters, fantastic massage oils, fantastic joint pain ointments, all that kind of stuff. And I figured if that stuff's natural, all natural inspired, why not try their tea tree oil? And I tried their tea tree oil, and it is nice, but compared to The Body Shop's, it is more watery consistency, and it's not as pure. So it does mark it as 100% essential oil, and it doesn't really say that it has any extra additives in the product. It says that it's 100% pure tea tree oil, blends well with lavender, and how to apply it and what aromas that work well with, but it doesn't say what the source is from. where it comes from, and it doesn't specify if there is a carrier oil. Now when I smell it, it smells pretty pure, but it doesn't smell as pure as something that you smell when you smell something like from the Body Shop. This smells very earthy. This smells like it's going to work quite well. How to apply tea tree oil. So the best way for me to apply tea tree oil is just using directly with a Q-tip with the application. So a lot of times tea tree oil, they'll give you the cute little application tip, so it's, and instantly it won't leak by itself. You can use it with the applicate though, and it'll come out onto the application. So with tea tree oil, you want to soak your application tip. Sometimes you can even use cotton rounds. Sometimes you can even use just regular cotton balls. I always like to use a Q-tip for precision. And what you want to do with tea tree oil is you just want to press it on to the skin, and you want to hold it to the spot that you're trying to help for 5 to 10 seconds. And a lot of times you want to work it around into the skin, move it around. So a lot of times people make the mistake, they just want to touch tea tree oil on it and blow on it and hope that does it right. And that's nice to think that it's powerful enough to get into your skin that way, but you really want to help yourself and assist everything working into the system the best that it can. So massaging that into the area that's most affected will actually help break down the particles, because what did I say? Tea tree oil is a natural antioxidant. So it's going to, now in touch, it's going to help break down the particles. Also going to clear up the bacteria that's there. So if you work it into the system, if you work it into the skin, if you work it into the issue that you're encountering, then it's going to penetrate deeper into the skin, and it's actually going to help clear the skin up upon contact. The Body Shop's tea tree oil actually is nice. So if you compare the nozzles to the two, the Body Shop's tea tree oil actually comes out, it's more exposed. And same idea, it's a waterproof, doesn't drip top. Same thing with this, doesn't drip, but it's exposed. So when you try to use the Q-tip to absorb it, it's more messy. It leaks, versus something like the Body Shop's is nice because it actually comes out. You can put the Q-tip directly into the spigot and it drips directly onto your application tip, and you don't really have this much mess. So that's just something that I prefer to use. I know I'm a little tedious. The Body Shop's tea tree oil, when you try and use it and put it into the spot, it has this kind of cooling effect. And almost like there's like a peppermint or like a menthol in here. And you really, really kind of feel it breaking down the particles, versus when you use something that specifies that it's 100% natural essential oils, you don't really get the same effect. And it does tend to seem sometimes like it's a little bit messier and you don't notice the same effect. Another really good benefit for tea tree oil is to help heal. So like I said, tea tree oil is a very, very powerful antibacterial. So it's going to help clear up the spread of bacteria. And antiseptic is going to stop the spread of bacteria on contact. It's going to help clear it up, and it's going to help break down the particles that can build up and lead to bacteria and infection. So it's fantastic for bacteria, but it also is a natural bacteria in and of itself. People don't realize tea tree oil is a bacteria. What I like to use is a combination of tea tree oil, and my other bestseller is hydrogen peroxide, just good old-fashioned hydrogen peroxide. So everybody knows about hydrogen peroxide. It's a very, very basic product that's probably in most households, because of things, like I said, minor cuts and bruises. And the good thing about hydrogen peroxide is that when it encounters bacteria, it will foam. You can notice on my finger here, it's starting to foam up and starting to actually physically antioxidize the bacteria that is there, cleaning it up, breaking it down. When you add things like tea tree oil, which are natural bacteria in and of themselves, to the situation, it actually speeds up the process. So what I do is usually, I'll take tea tree oil, you'll take your little dollop of tea tree oil, we'll put it directly on the spot where the infection occurs, work it into that spot, nice and good, and then you'll take some hydrogen peroxide on top of it, same thing, saturate your Q-tip, and then put it right on top of it, and then what you'll notice is that even more of a reaction will occur. It speeds up the rejuvenation time, and it actually speeds up the reaction that occurs when peroxide hits bacteria, because tea tree is a bacteria, but it's a cleansing, it's a good bacteria. We have good bacteria, we have bad bacteria. Tea tree is a good bacteria. So you can actually see that it responds a lot more to the tea tree oil with hydrogen peroxide, and that can cleanse the skin and cleanse an infection even better than just using it by itself. So those are a couple of different ways that I've taken to use one of my favorite ingredients that's been used now, like I said, in a lot of different healthcare products on the market. And it gives you a little bit of history about it. Tea tree is natural antibacterial, natural antiseptic, and natural antioxidant. It's been used in a lot of different hair care products to help break down bacteria. It's been used to help relieve your skin from buildup. You know, it's also lightly exfoliating, almost like a salicylic acid, so it's been used in skincare routines to help exfoliate skin and to penetrate deeper to help rejuvenate. So tea tree is just a wonder plant that we've now heard comes from places around the world. Originally, I've heard from it coming from Africa first, Kenya specifically, the foothills in Kenya, a certain mountain there, that they actually have a cooperative of women that they handpick this, and organizations like The Body Shop have actually helped inspire socioeconomic growth in certain parts of the country just because of how they've marketed and been able to produce and mass produce and effectively instill their ingredients into products now, again, all around the planet, and now catching on to interest with people from all around the planet, people that are interested in what skincare does, how it can offer you, what can be good about it, you know. So we know that it's a natural ingredient. We know that it has really 3 powerful things that it targets: antioxidant, antibacterial, antiseptic. You know, we know that it comes from Kenya, and we know that it's a very, very powerful oil, but typically is not going to be more than 15% in potency. It's very powerful. So hopefully that gives you some insight about what tea tree oil is, how to best use it, where to find some. You can find a lot of different places, what to look at when you're thinking about buying tea tree oil. You know, is this the right quality? Is this the actual potency that I want? Is this an actual tea tree oil? Is it something else? I think that this sets you up for an understanding of exactly what you're trying to involve yourself with. Thank you so much for your time. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comments below. I'll try to answer all the ones that I can. So, happy shopping. Have a good one.